Good morning, YouTube. It is October 28th, 2019, Ray Horvath Productions, and I'm going to come at you with the 800-mile review on the 2019 Honda Talon 1000R. So my first thoughts on it after utilizing it now for quite some time is I'm very happy. It's a good machine. Its climbing ability is really nice. It does a really good job. I've taken it on all the trails that I've had the T-Rex on, some of them gnarlier, and it's doing quite well. First thing I'm going to cover is a couple of things that I've done to the machine, and you probably noticed the tires there. I went with a 3210 15, and this is the Gladiator X-Comp tire. It's a 10-ply tire. It's DOT rated, and it also has 2 steel belts and 8 nylon belts. So even though it's a really beefy carcass, the sidewall is still pretty flexible. So you have quite a plush ride. I was expecting a lot harder ride, so I'll get that out of the way. Really love those so far. I will keep you up to date on how they do. Got the A-arm guards installed there. You've seen the light bar. Need to get a winch. Haven't decided what to do there so far. Already covered the Super ATV windshield. One of the things you guys might notice is this guy right here. This is the SMB Particle Separator. Now, for those of you that are familiar with this, go ahead and fast forward because I'm going to cover a little bit of the concept of this. This technology was developed first for use by the military in their helicopter aircraft, and basically the military needed to find a way to keep their induction systems cleaner in desert environments and save the life of the air cleaner. So the principle works on something called a Vortex Generator. The only power coming into this is 3 amp draw only. I'll stress that it only draws 3 amps. Is this evacuation fan. There's a fan in here that basically gathers the dust and debris that gets thrown to the sides by the Vortex Generator, and then it's ducted out the back with this fan. It only draws 3 amps, and it's meant to run 50,000 hours. So the life of that is huge. Each one of these holes here contains a cylinder, a spinning device similar to you would see in a bagless vacuum cleaner. That creates something called a Vortex Generator, and it takes the dust that comes in through here, and as you can see it's pretty dirty, and it flings it to the sides of the inside of this chamber, and then the evacuation fan ducts it out the back. And I'll just come around the back here. That is the evacuation fan opening. So the only thing that's coming out there is dirty dust, leaving 93% cleaner air to go in here that goes into the intake of the vehicle. Now, I've got another filter here. This is the second filter I've got on this. I've got a new one in there now. This one here was the second one that I put on, and this has about 370, I call it 400 miles on this. Pretty dirty. Now, we live in a desert environment here. The dirt is really bad. It's really dusty. You cannot clean these things with compressed air. The lowest cost I've seen on these things on the internet is about $54. So if you do the math and you're doing this every 400 miles, it comes into quite an expense. So the particle separator by S&B is designed to keep the dirt 93% cleaner, according to S&B, and I should be able to get 15 times the filter life. So that's quite a substantial increase in filter life. Now, I'm going to do a review, and if you guys want to see that, I'm going to do another one after I've put another 400 miles on this with the particle separator in place. And it's got a new air cleaner on it right now. So if you want to see that, drop a comment below. But I've been very happy with this. It climbs like a beast. One of the things I learned really quick when I took the stock tires off, and these are the 32s. I'll go right back here. There's the stock girls in the back of the truck. I never got a puncture in those, so they did their job, but stock tires are stock tires. Maxxis, but these X comps gave it a little more hype and gives me again a peace of mind out in the desert that I'm not going to get a puncture. So the DCT transmission, everybody's asking about that. Emails, people calling me that I know, how's that DCT compared to a CVT? Well, I'm going to tell you something. For the most part, Honda nailed it. They've got the gearing and the mapping on it down very, very well. The one thing I don't like is if I am in a climb on a steep hill and I throw it into low, it tends to want to shift up when I don't want it to. I want to keep that, you know, lower rev, and it wants to shift up. So when I'm climbing, I throw it into manual mode and I control the shifts, and it will stay in manual mode. It will not upshift. It will stay there no matter what you're doing. The only time that I've noticed that it will shift out of manual mode, or not shift, but if you come to a stop and you're gonna stall the machine, it will slip the clutch and prevent it from stalling. But I keep it in manual mode if I'm on steep climbs. Other than that, sport mode is amazing for going fast through the dirt and through the arroyos. It handles itself really well. And I was told when I put on a different size tire, and I called Honda on this, they told me that the transmission, the DCT, basically has to relearn the shift patterns. And it actually did it quite quickly. I noticed that at first, you know, the first maybe 10 miles, it was kind of shifting like it was with the stock tires, but it kind of remaps itself. And I'm probably using the wrong terminology, but it works itself in the shift pattern to adjust and compensate for the tires. So I was really pleased with how quickly it did that. And now it's shifting kind of the way it was when I had the stock tires on it, and it's back to its old normal self. I was expecting to have to do that, you know, a couple days, maybe put 100 miles on it. I'd say it did it within the first 20 miles or so. But some of the dislikes. Okay, the first thing, I ordered a rear bumper. I wish it would have come with a rear bumper, but looks kind of bare without it. So once I get that on, it'll look better. Didn't come with the lower doors. I can notice on the cold days as it's cooling down, you're getting a lot of cool air through there. But my biggest pet peeve, I'll be honest with you, the fuel tank. Not that it's 7.2 gallons. It has quite the range with that. But let me tell you something, the way Honda constructed the internal ways of this tank, the last gallon and a half, basically, you're not gonna be able to see it there, but I have to trickle the fuel in to get that last gallon and a half or so of fuel. And that's just, it clicks off, and you can't fill it all the way. You've got to kind of stand at the pump for an additional 5 minutes trying to get that last bit of fuel in there. So I wish they would have left just an open tank on there with an open throat. That would have been better. That's kind of small stuff, but for those of you looking to get one, keep that in the back of your head. You know, to get that tank topped off, you're going to have to do that. Other than that, man, it's been a really, really good machine. Just hit over 800 miles today. I run the suspension on medium. That seems to be what works best for me. I'm a big guy, even if I have a passenger. But awesome. I'm pretty pleased. I'll keep doing reviews. If you guys want to see any particular question or review, please drop a comment below. I'll try to put that out there as soon as I can. And tell me what you guys think about this. And if you guys know something about this I'm not familiar with, please let me know. I can't wait to see the results of that. And those of you that live in the desert Southwest, you know what I'm talking about. Last thing, if you do own a Talon and you decide to get one of these, you do need to get the wiring harness and this panel. And this panel is what has the switch that controls the evacuation fan on the particle separator on and off. I don't have the key on, and it comes with a voltmeter. So you need that wiring harness, but it does show the volt draw. And the voltmeter when it's running, but only 3 amps, and that's not a lot of draw. I get a lot more draw when I got the light bar on. But anyway, appreciate the subscribe, like, share. Again, please Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. I hope everybody has a great day.